Alright, so I ran a test. I got voltage to where the relay is for the fuel pump. Say hi. Hi. You gonna help me? Are you able to do that? Let me see you try it. Turn the key. Okay, turn it. Right there. Don't turn it any farther, okay? Alright, can you turn it back? That's good. Alright, when I tell you to turn it, you turn it again, okay? Alright. See if we can feel the fuel pump going. Alright, Ren, turn it! Turn it off and turn it again.
You need the light on.
Yeah, alright, we picked up another helper. Alright, you ready to do it again? Turn the key. I don't hear the fuel pump. Alright. Ready?
Yeah.
Alright, do it again, Ren. That's a transfer case, but the filter's real close to that. And we got nothing. Alright, I can tell you firsthand that if you get gasoline in your eyes, it really burns. And it will actually cause a lot of damage. I've done that before and had to flush it down. Special eye drops, so heal up, and it takes probably a week or two. So you gotta be careful. I wasn't underneath of it when it rushed out, but I just bust a line loose and it flipped gasoline in my eyes that time. So I'm gonna be real careful. We're down to a fuel pump, so I gotta drop that tank. Yay. Alright, there's a plastic cover right here that I took off. And so now I gotta disconnect. Alright, we're at the back of the fuel tank, on the left rear wheel. There's your inlet tubes. You gotta, one's a vapor, one's an inlet. Yeah, fill tube basically. You gotta disconnect that rubber piece, one of the band clamps, so it'll slide off. Alright, I'm up under the vehicle, and I took the spare tire out so I have more room to work. Right there's the fuel lines I gotta get off. Way up in there. See the clamp shining. So I get a screwdriver and try to pry them off. Let's see if we can pry up on this a little bit. Another trick is to take a pair of slip jaw pliers, channel locks, and twist it. Can't squeeze too hard though, you'll bend up the neck. There, it's turning. Alright. Be careful you don't rip the rubber too. Or you should be replacing that. Alright, I'm able to work this vent tube off. I put WD-40 on it a few days ago. Now I'm walking it up the little spout. Good now. Got enough clearance. All we can do is get the main one off. Alright. This side's starting to walk up now too. So you can't keep the fuel from spilling off. Well, it fell. That's not good. Alright, the bad news is I snapped off this little inlet on the fuel pump. The good news is this whole unit's getting replaced. So whenever you want to mess with that rubber hose, this main outlet, you probably want to make sure that these are all disconnected. Alright, what I'm going to do now is blow the tank off so I don't get dirt down inside when I'm pulling the fuel pump. What you probably want to do is cover up that vent tube and that filler neck so you don't get dirt downside too. Alright, I took a glove and put it over the filler neck and I zip tied it down. I took one of the fingers off another glove, zip tied it over the vent tube, so I'm just going to use shop air and blow off all this dust around the tank here. You probably want safety glasses when you do this too, so this stuff doesn't blow back in your eyes. Partner is a big snap ring instead of the usual kind of ring where you have to drive it off. Just like most of the stuff I have to work on, it's all rusted. So you got to get that off. Alright, so I got the fuel sending unit out. You have to be careful pulling it out because this thing's full of gas. And then when you pull it out, you're going to have to tilt it in order to get your level arm out sideways. Here's the new one, which comes with a new level arm that you got to install. Alright, this new fuel pump comes with a different connector than what goes in the old one. You have to shrink wrap new wires and cut them off the old connector. Plus you have to get these clips off the old one onto here. I'm using a screwdriver. The thinner the screwdriver you have, the better you'll be. You get up under here, pry this tab up ever so slightly and get it started over there and then work to the other side. We'll do that in a second. Try to show you that tab right here. That one's over. Like that. It is going to matter for at least these two clips. These two look like they're the same size and this one's bigger. So it does matter where you get which clip goes on where. It's probably easier to put them on now. Alright, in the process of dropping that tank on the connectors stay connected, I broke these two wires off. Had to get them out. It's hard to see, but they're kind of like a square box, except one side looks like it's a piece of wire's been bent over. You just kind of work it on both sides, so that tab is. It's kind of bent over like this inside there, and then you have another piece. Basically, if you had a tab like this, one side would have an extra piece curled over. And you just take a really small screwdriver and work on both sides and try to squeeze them together like that, and then you shove it out. So, shove both those wires out right here. I'm going to have to solder or crimp some new wire fittings on there. Put them. And of course, the wire harness piece that I have to replace and cut didn't break, so the one that's not getting replaced over here did break. So I went ahead and cut this one off. That kit gives you a new wire harness, and there's instruction. You just match the colors up basically. Alright, I tried to drop the fuel pump in, but it doesn't want to fit. I think it's the wrong size. It's actually a little shorter, and I measured across here the plate. And this is actually, I think it's about 1/8 of an inch wider than the old one, and it doesn't want to fit. So I'm going to call Napa tomorrow and find out. I got part numbers off of it, so I'm thinking it's the wrong one anyway. Yay.